Doctor? I barely know her. All right. Don't confuse symptoms for a diagnosis. When you go to the doctor and you say, yeah, my throat hurts, I've got a fever, coughing, don't feel good, the doctor doesn't tell you, oh, yeah, no, you probably don't feel good because your throat hurts and you have a fever. How pointless would doctors be then? I mean, they're already pretty pointless, but he tells you that you have an infection or you have a virus. And then there's medicine to hopefully kill that infection or that virus. But the symptoms are not the cause of the problem. Everyone understands that in the health analogy, but everyone forgets that when it comes to e-com marketing. People will look at a low ROAS or a high CAC and say, that's the problem. We got to fix that. But ROAS and CAC are merely symptoms of what's actually happening in your marketing ecosystem. And if you don't understand that, and if you don't understand what the potential causes could be, you are going to be chasing your tail all year again. And that's not what you want to do. So in this episode, I'm going to break down all the metrics that we look at weekly. And then I also use this to look at monthly data, year over year data, and it makes it really clear what the true causes of poor performance can be and what you can do about them. This episode is brought to you by IntelliGems and Postscript. IntelliGems is our profit optimization platform that allows us to test anything we want to on our site, from prices and offers and content and site structure and a whole bunch of other stuff that has added dollars to our bottom line. So go to intelligems.io and let them know I sent you if you want to add dollars to your bottom line today. Postscript is the most reliable and trustworthy SMS platform out there, and it's because they're only focused on one thing: being the most reliable and trustworthy and profitable SMS platform out there. They're not trying to be an all-in-one solution, which is all too popular in the SaaS world today. They do one thing, they do it excellently, and it lets us grow our top and bottom line through our SMS channel. So go to postscript.io, let them know you heard about them on the Tactical and Practical podcast, and you can start adding dollars to your top and bottom line. All right, I'm going to link this spreadsheet in the description of this video. I'll make it read only so you can just copy it and save it out for you. But these are the metrics that we report on every Monday, every month, every year. And then I also will use this whenever we're going through a time that's a little bit of trouble. So if we're struggling for 2 weeks, I will come into this spreadsheet, I'll add up the data from the last 2 weeks, compare it to the previous 2 weeks, and I'm going to be able to see what changed. If we had a rough first week of January, which we did, by the way, I pulled all this data for the first week of January for this year compared to the first week of January for last year, and it was really clear to see what was going wrong. Because again, too often VPs, CMOs, CEOs will look at the highlights. We will look at contribution margins down, revenues down, profits down, ROAS is down, CAC is up. That's a problem. Marketing sucks. That's an all too simple and reductive conclusion. What a great marketing executive should be doing is understanding that all those outcomes are symptoms. They're not the root cause of the problem. They're not the diagnosis. So we're going to dig into this data to figure out what's going on. One of the biggest things I look at first is new site visitors, returning site visitors, and then cost per site visitor. This, I think, is great to just keep a pulse on how is advertising performing. Right, our advertising systems can only go so far. All they can really do is get someone to our website. So I want to know what's going on. Is it costing us more money to get someone to our website? Are our ad accounts defaulting towards returning customer traffic rather than going out and finding net new people? These three metrics are often the case for us. Cost per site session has been up in the last year. We've been able to overcome that with a great PRO strategy. So our revenue and profit per session have increased faster than our cost per site session has. If you want to know how I do that, go listen to the last episode about CRO. But these are often a common culprit where it's like, yeah, no wonder ROAS is down. Nothing's broken, but it used to cost us $1 to get someone to our site. Now it's costing us $1.25. That might not sound like a lot, but that's a 25% increase in your traffic costs. That can cause big problems in your business. So that's kind of what I look at first. Next, I look at our revenue per session, our conversion rate, and our average order value. This is kind of the flip side of those first metrics. They're all about getting people to the site. These next three are all about how is our website performing. For us, we have a product catalog that has a real wide range of prices. You can buy a watch from us for $149. You can also buy a watch from us for $700. And while our AOV usually sits above 300, there are sometimes days and weeks where it's down at 220. And it's because people are picking different watches. Maybe we have the site merchandised differently. Maybe people are taking our bundles less frequently. But a change like that can massively affect what's going on. Because if I'm usually okay with $150 CAC, because our AOV is $330, and that's great. And the next week, I might keep that $150 CAC, but if AOV goes to $230, we've got problems. And that'll show up in the top line and the bottom line. But if I don't identify exactly what the problem is, then I have no chance at fixing it. So we look at AOV and conversion rate, which together add up to revenue per session. Not add up, multiply to. You know what I'm talking about. But that's kind of what I do next, is check on how our website is performing. Big one I look at next is at our ad account. I'll go straight here if our cost per site session is too high. Usually it's a combination of either our click-through rate being down or CPMs being up. It doesn't matter what platform you're advertising on. For us, the majority of our dollars are going to Facebook still. But if it's costing you more money to reach people, if less people who see your ad are clicking on it, that's going to drive your cost per click up, and that's going to be hard to run your business on. So those are the big ones. I look at how are we doing at getting people to our website? Is it more expensive than it used to be? Are we not doing the volume that we used to do? Are we sending warm traffic to our website, but we're not reaching any new cold audiences? That's step one. Then I'll dig into the ad account, figure out why things might be more expensive, why we might be getting warmer traffic instead of new visitors. And then I'll dig into the website and I'll look at how it's performing by conversion rate, average order value, how our upsells are doing. And then depending on what each of those metrics say, you know where to go after that, right? If your click-through rate on your ad is down, then you're going to get into your ad account. You're going to see which ads have taken the most spend in the last week, which ones are underperforming, compare it to the previous period where they were performing better, and start to make tweaks that you think will bring those metrics back. If your conversion rate or AOV are down, you might want to look at what products are being sold. Have you merchandised the site any differently? Are your welcome email and SMS flows performing differently? But again, you'll never get there if you just say ROAS is down, we got to fix it. Or worse, you could assume it's a problem with Facebook ads and launch more creative and change your site structure and tweak your cost caps if you're still running those for some reason. And you could be spinning your wheels trying to solve a symptom without solving the underlying infection. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to think about. That's what I try to get people on my team to think about is we'll see the symptoms. We'll see the outcomes every day when we look at what was revenue yesterday, what was contribution margin yesterday. All those things are going to come out, but those aren't the problems. Those are the outcomes. Those are the symptoms. To make the true diagnosis, you need to dig into this data. So I'm going to link this spreadsheet for you to copy and paste and use on your own. I've given it to some friends already. I've been using it for a couple of years now. I would love to hear what additions you think I should make to this spreadsheet. So please feel free to drop me a comment on there or tweet at me at Nate Lagos. But I really want people to stop looking for the button that says decrease CAC or increase ROAS. Those buttons don't exist. But you can dig into the underlying causes of poor marketing efficiency. And then there are actionable, practical tactics that you can execute in order to improve those things, which then will make all your blended metrics and your business outcomes look a lot better. So focus on the diagnosis, not the symptoms, and start printing money in a tactical and practical way. Because that's what this podcast is all about. All right, it's like raining. My laptop's getting wet. It's not raining, but all the snow is melting from the trees. My butt is wet and numb. So that's never good. So I'm going to go inside. Thanks for listening to Tactical and Practical. I'll see you next time.